Fast food workers, what's an item people should absolutely stop ordering from your restaurant? Domino's worker here. Nothing gross really that we do, but for the love of God, stop ordering our bread twists. Unless you want the cinnamon ones. You can order the Parmesan bread bites. It's the same amount of dough in total for like $3 cheaper. Customer, I'll have a insert stupid drink name. Me, I have no idea what that is. Customer, it's on your secret menu. Me, we don't have a secret menu. Customer, but I read online that you have a secret menu. Me, don't believe everything you read on the internet. I worked in a local coffee and donut shop and nobody ever cleaned the soda machines. They were so gross the first time I cleaned them. I asked if anyone knew how to do it and nobody knew. Nobody had ever done it. Used to work at Panda Express. No real complaints about the ingredients and food prep. But don't buy any shrimp entrees if you actually want to a full meal. They purposely use a smaller serving spoon to make it appear you're getting a lot of food. I believe it was 6 shrimps per serving max was the policy. Worked for 8 years at In-N-Out. If this thread is wanting to expose gross stuff, nothing. I swear, the quality standard that they have, which became my standard, was nuts. Food quality, cleaning routines, regular inspections. It makes it hard for me to eat anywhere else. 8 years of a free burger every day worked, and I still crave them. But if you want to slow the growth of your gut, cut the shakes. They're real ice cream mix, not a typical watered-down shake mix. I actually prefer the watered-down taste of a McDonald's or Wendy's shake, but an In-N-Out shake is like eating liquid ice cream. You're already getting a burger and fries, skip dessert this time. Panera worker here. Nothing's gross or illegal, but just know that half of everything we serve comes in frozen. Soups, meats, some pastries and the mac and cheese pastas all comes in frozen. But to answer the question, the calorie count for the mac and cheese is absurdly high. I don't remember the exact number, but do your body a favor and limit how many times you have it. There's people who come in several times a week to order bread bowls of mac and cheese who don't realize how bad it is for you. Also on the topic of our mac and cheese, it's not special Panera brand mac and cheese, it's Nestle mac and cheese. I have nothing against frozen foods, a genius development in reducing food spoilage, but I find it ironic that Panera relies on it so much. Their whole ad campaign is all about fresher than fresh, purer than pure, healthier than healthy, eco-organic yada yada. If you order any of the all-day breakfast items at McDonald's after around 1 o'clock, it will most likely be a few hours old. When you order a pizza, look for the specials. On Pizza Hut's website, you could order a large pizza with 2 toppings for $18. But if you go to the Deals tab, that same pizza could be had for $8. They won't apply the discounts for you automatically. Sometimes you gotta look for them. You're ordering pizza wrong if you're not looking for deals. Don't get decaf coffee at Burger King. Maybe this was just the one I worked at, but we didn't actually brew any decaf. Whenever someone ordered it, my manager would just have me water down the regular coffee. As someone who can't drink caffeine due to heart issues, this terrifies me. Jack in the Box. I don't know why anyone orders the bacon cheddar potato wedges. It's fake cheese with fake bacon on fried potatoes. I'm trying to remember the ingredient list on the cheese, but I distinctly recall nowhere on the packaging did it say it contained dairy. It also smells like feet. I never worked fast food but figured this was worth relaying. When my father-in-law was diagnosed with lung cancer and started chemo, the hospital gave him a list of things to avoid because his immune system was compromised. A lot of stuff was obvious, like soft-serve ice cream and anything from a soda fountain, because the nozzles on both don't always get cleaned that well. Some stuff made sense but wasn't obvious until I read it, like don't get slices of pizza, because they have been sitting out, and when getting a whole pizza ask for it unsliced, because the pizza cutter only gets washed at the end of the day and sits on the counter going through every pizza. But the one that surprised me the most was don't get Jamba Juice. It was the only company called out by name. And it wasn't don't get certain things from there, it was just don't get Jamba Juice, period. Makes me wonder how gross their stuff must get. I work at a Jamba. I can only think that our blender bases aren't cleaned but once a day and only with water. That, and our smoothies are based on fountain stands that get cleaned every 3 days or so depending on how busy it is. Otherwise, we're really strict on glove changes, contamination, and cleaning out the blenders. Okay, so not fast food, but I worked at Futterker's, and once we had a family came in with a child who was extremely deathly allergic to cheese, meaning I had to make that kid a burger wrapped in aluminum foil on the grill with a different pair of gloves, all the while cooking 50 other burgers and praying I don't kill this kid. If your kid is deathly allergic to something, please, dear God, don't put it on a 17-year-old kid to keep them alive. Like, that's just not cool at all. Jesus, this thread has made me realize that the place I work apparently has standards miles above other places, and also I'm only ever eating at my work and home from now on. When I got a job at Quiznos, everyone was warning me that fast food jobs are always terrible since some things you just don't want to know. But I ended up being super impressed actually. They're run like delis with fresh meat on the slicer and produce that got delivered whole and chopped up on site. The only thing that wasn't was the iceberg lettuce, the soup, frozen blocks, and the guac, cold bags. Some places are alright. Worked at a sandwich shop and they had a contest for someone to have a sandwich named after them. They settled on slices of chicken, apples, and honey served on a croissant and grilled. Funny thing is, it was pretty popular, and I never thought much of it until I tried it. It's not good. I worked at Starbucks. Nobody who values their health should order a white mocha anything. That white mocha shit is absurdly unhealthy and disgusting to work with. But it's so good. No health for you. This was back in the day, but my first job was McDonald's. One day we got a call from a sister store asking if we'd had any complaints about our shakes. I said no. They did if we did refer it to them. Turns out a mouse had died in the machine at some point and had been chewed up by the internal mixer. Yeah, I don't get shakes from there anymore, and I eye the ice cream especially hard. I worked in several Tim Hortons as a teenager. The ice cap machine never gets cleaned. Never ever. One of the girls I worked with went into anaphylaxis after making herself an ice cap at the end of her shift. She had a severe penicillin allergy. At least the penicillin will kill all the other bad types of bacteria. My mom worked at Dairy Queen and told me to always get the chicken because they have to make it fresh. She said that they just microwave the hamburgers, maybe not at all locations but at this one. To help earn money for my son's school trip to the British Isles, he and I worked at the concession stand for HS football games, among a bunch of other things. At the very first game, the stadium supervisor helped us set up. He opened a cabinet and took out the nacho cheese machine and plugged it in. He opened the lid and looked inside. That should last a couple of hours. When it starts getting low, take a bag, cut a corner off and squeeze it in. When you are done tonight, just unplug it and stick it back in the cupboard so it will be ready for next week. That was 20 years ago. I haven't eaten nachos since that evening. I've posted about this, but I worked at a Japanese casual fast food restaurant for a while, and we had this thing called a volcano roll. It cost $7.25. A California roll that cost $3.75. The volcano roll was a Cali roll cut into the shape of a triangle and topped with spicy mayo that has been heated up with about 10 cents worth of fish, literally just a few bits. You are much better off ordering a Cali roll and paying 50 cents extra for spicy mayo on the side and asking them to heat it up. I had one guy come in with a girl and he ordered a couple of regular rolls like spicy tuna and yellowtail, along with a volcano roll. When served in the restaurant, unless they ask us, we would put the sauce on top so it looked nice, like a volcano. When I brought that roll over, he was like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys put the sauce on. I've only gotten it for pickup and the sauce is always on the side. I don't really like it. Could you bring me one without it?" I tried not to laugh and said sure. I went back and the sushi chef asked what was wrong. I told him that he didn't like the sauce and want one without it. He laughed and said alright, so he took a Cali roll, cut it up, and put it on the plate. I brought it back to the guy and he was super pumped. Basically, this guy paid $7.25 for a roll that would have cost him $3.75, and me and the sushi chef got to split a free volcano roll. Normally I would have just told him about it, but the dude was being pretty arrogant the entire time. I'm guessing to act like he was a sushi expert to impress the girl he was with. If you're ordering rolls, make sure to look at the ingredients and see exactly what you're getting, because you could end up overpaying for a glorified California roll. Back around 2003 to 2004, my ex-wife worked for Wendy's. When they were about to fry a new batch of chicken nuggets, the other employees would just dip the bottom of the plastic bag into the fryer so that it would melt and the nuggets would fall out. They were too fucking lazy to open the bag properly. I never ate there after hearing that. Do you have a similar story? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.